Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got our first all-new show of the new year for you this week. We're going to kick it off with the late season elk hunt that happened last month in the northern lower. You won't want to miss that story. Lots of excitement and lots of good information about the elk hunt up there. And Jimmy's got some other exciting adventures in store for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more things on this week's show. After we take a look at that really cool elk hunt, we're going to head down to mid-Michigan where there's still a lot of open water, and we're going to show you what it looks like to catch some perch on open water this time of the year. And if you got any ducks in the freezer, we have a really good duck recipe for you on this week's show as well. Lots of good stuff. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988. Featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons, a mid-Michigan company building boats for fishermen by fishermen. AnglerQuest Pontoons are designed for comfort and functionality. On the web at anglerquestpontoons.com.
Soaking in the rich tradition of Michigan hunting for over 30 years, Vanguard is proud to sponsor our friends at Michigan Out of Doors TV.
We're at the elk orientation. The purpose is to give hunters kind of a elk 101 to let them know about elk behavior, elk movements, special rules associated with the hunt, how they check their animal in because check-in is required, how they get their head tested for TB because TB testing is required. So we give them just a whole bunch of information. Generally, December season is more successful. There's no leaves on the trees, so you can see a lot better. The animals are grouped up and there's snow on the ground, so it's easier to find more animals. Plus, the core is open, so the area where the elk is densest is open. Right now, our last population estimate gave us a range of between 850 and 1,450 or so. So we're a little bit above goal. We're a little bit above where we want to be. We've been above for quite a while, although a couple of years ago, the population estimate was that we were way at the bottom end of our range. Our elk goal range is 500 to 900. So again, the last population census said we're above. We're trying to move down into the range slowly. We used to just give 400 permits and then only 120 permits. And now we're trying to keep it stable at 200 or so and see if we can move that population slowly down into the goal range and keep it there. So we're adjusting every couple of years as we go.
After orientation, I met up with Chloe and Joe Ferguson. Chloe was lucky enough to draw a youth transfer cow tag, and I was planning on spending the weekend with this father-daughter team, hoping to find some elk. We quickly hit the back roads to do some scouting the night before the opener.
Yeah, we're out looking tonight, trying to find some cows so we can go after them in the morning. I seen a bunch this morning. Probably 100 or so I feel pretty confident that Chloe should be able to get on one in the morning and make a good shot. She's been shooting well, so hopefully she can close the deal in the morning.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I'll probably end up killing one tomorrow and then have the DNR check it, and I want a tooth. I want one of the tooth.
Confidence. I like it.
Yeah.
We did see a few elk, but not on the property we were hoping for. The next morning, we decided to try an area where the elk had been most of the week, hoping they would still be there.
Here we are, 2018 winter elk hunt. We're set up with Chloe. She's 11. We're set up waiting for the elk to come this way. I got a pretty good idea. We've been watching them for a couple weeks, and we feel pretty confident that they're going to come this way, and she's going to get a shot. So we'll just have to see how things go here.
The action started right away as we were caught off guard by a beautiful bull elk. With only a cow tag, all we could do was sit and watch this truly incredible animal as it walked by at less than 70 yards. The bull eventually wandered off. We did have another group of elk move through, however they didn't follow the same path. They did give us an opportunity, but unfortunately another hunter's truck in the background kept us from being able to take a shot. We hunted hard for the rest of the morning, but never had another opportunity. Chloe is only 11 years old, and therefore she is limited to hunting only private property. This made things a little difficult once the elk got moved around. Meanwhile, over in Atlanta, there were bulls hanging from the pole and lots of successful elk hunters rolling through the check station.
We started out with a bang. We had our first elk come in somewhere around 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30, and we had not stopped until about a half hour ago, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. We are having elk hunters bring their elk here to be weighed and get the location of their kill. We also get the age of the animal. We count the points of bulls and look at the condition of the animals. Out in the field, they're out hunting, and we also go out to each location and verify the location. The core elk range is primarily public land, and outside of that land, there's a lot of private land, a lot of farms, a lot of private properties that people have conflict with elk at times. So we want to keep elk to be a positive thing. So we're trying to limit the number of elk outside of the core range, keep the populations on the state land, and manage for a healthy population.
The second morning found us on a different piece of property, but in the same situation. Once again, we were in elk, but we could never get a clear shot.
Are they up on the hill? No, up on top of the hill.
We were very close a couple of times, but never did pull the trigger. After the morning hunt, I decided to head back to the check station to see how things were going on day 2.
It's day 2 at the check station here in Atlanta. We've checked a little less than 40 elk so far. With both days combined, we've had some cows come in early this morning, and we've just checked a couple bulls here recently. It's been a great day here in Atlanta. So elk this time of year seem to be clustered up into some pretty big groups. Hunters seem to be seeing groups of 30 to potentially 70 animals clustered up. Some of the bulls have been more by themselves, but a lot of the cows and calves are together.
After spending some time at the check station, I decided to head out with Sergeant Mike Mishar for the rest of the evening. He was just wrapping up a case from the morning hunt and was headed back out to investigate a blood trail crossing a nearby road.
The second day of the second season, our December hunt, and we've been extremely busy. Yesterday we had a couple hunters make some mistakes and either shoot the wrong animal or shoot on the private property. Today we've already had one where a hunter who had a cow tag shot a bull, and we dealt with that earlier. And now what we've got is one of our officers was patrolling the area and they came upon some blood on the road. We're trying to confirm if this blood is from maybe a multiple kill. A lot of times what happens during this hunt is we'll get hunters that will get excited and they'll shoot too many elk. So one of the things we do is we check kill sites to make sure that didn't happen. So we've got a couple other officers coming here and we're going to try to figure this blood out and see where it goes.
After investigating the scene, it appeared as if the blood came from a whitetail and not an elk. As we continued on, I asked Mike about the most common violations during the Michigan elk hunt.
So one of the biggest, things that we're looking at is hunter safety. We want to make sure everybody's doing things in a safe manner and a legal manner. As always with any hunt, the good majority, the vast majority of everybody is following the rules. But there's always a few people that, whether they get excited or they just have a lapse in judgment, and they do things they're not supposed to. So we see a lot of road hunting. A lot of this areas are big blocks of public land, and they all have roads, and so we see a lot of people just driving around and looking for an opportunity to either jump onto the truck or, unfortunately, some of them shoot from the truck, which is highly illegal. So road hunting is a big one. Trespass is another issue. There's a lot of big, what we call club country. There's a lot of big ranches, private ranches up in this area that intermingle with public land. So every year we run into issues with, somebody trespassing onto the private property from the public. And there are people that believe that because it's the elk hunt, they can go wherever they want, and it's no different than any other deer hunt or any other type of hunting where, private property rules, all the rules, the trespassing still apply, so.
Well, thankfully, Mike and I didn't come across any game violations on the second night. And after a fun couple of days in northern Michigan, I headed home. As for Chloe, she filled her tag the next morning. Quite an accomplishment for an 11-year-old. Congratulations to all of the successful Michigan elk hunters. And for the rest of us who are still waiting on a tag, maybe next year will be the year.
Well, thanks to everybody that made that hunt possible up there. That is always such a fun time of the year to be up there in the northeast part of the Lower Peninsula chasing those big elk. We're going to shift gears, though, now and head down to mid-Michigan where there's still quite a bit of open water. We're going to show you what it looks like to catch perch this time of the year out of a boat and not on the hard water.
Well, we'll see if we can find us some perch today.
Just go where the boats are, eh?
Yeah. I actually don't like to pack fish, so we'll be on the edge of the boats today.
There you go.
Yeah. Been doing pretty good out here the last couple of weeks, so hopefully today's works out the same way.
And where are we launching out of here today?
This is Snug Harbor out of Muskegon Lake.
All right. Muskegon Lake is big and not super easy to fish for the first timer, but today it would not be hard to pick a spot. And with the open water, all you really needed to do was look for the pile of boats. You looking for a certain depth here, Doug? Or?
Yeah, 60 feet of water has been pretty good, just kind of on the edge of a drop-off. And on the screen right now, the bottom few feet looks like it's pretty well full of fish, so looking pretty good so far. Just get them to bite.
Well, the angler you chose to bring with you is a little suspect, though.
Yes, he is.
Well, holding the perch pounder we were using today was Brad Radel, good friend of both Doug and myself. Brad hooked us up today, and we were all anxious to get started.
Right through the tip of the lips, top and bottom. And on the other rig, I will just run a partial minnow on each hook and let the fish tell us what they want today. Because if they get finicky, sometimes just a piece of the minnow or a smaller presentation
really
seems to work a little better.
All right. We were on the outside of the pile of boats today, just about where Doug wanted to be. And once we got our offerings in the water, it wasn't but a few minutes, and we had our first perch of the day.
Hey. Here we go.
I think it's a keeper.
Yeah.
You figured?
I think so. I think it's going to cook up real nice.
First fish of the day.
Hopefully first of many. We will try. Jeez, it was really down in there.
All right.
There we go.
That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for.
Well, we were hoping for bigger, if we were honest. We did have quite a bit of sorting to do today to find fish worthy of taking home to fillet.
Growing.
How long you been doing this kind of fishing?
Oh, since childhood.
Yeah?
Yeah, growing up in the UP, Escanaba. Go Eskimos. Yeah, been in the outdoors my whole life. A lot of good perch fishing up there growing up as a kid. And it's a great walleye fishery, little bait and knock and big bait and knock. So don't get up there as much as I would like anymore, but
that could be said for a lot of us.
Yeah, but that's where I cut my teeth fishing up there.
Like we mentioned earlier, Muskegon Lake can be a little daunting for the first timer.
Muskegon Lake, having lived down here about 15 years now, it can be a tough lake to figure out. For walleyes, other multi-species fish, they're in here. They can be finicky, and at certain times of year it gets very good. But it can be a hard lake to figure out if you're just moved to the area and are learning to fish it. Could be a little bit better fish, but sometimes it's hard to tell down that deep. Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Ooh, that's one of the better ones today.
Yeah, nice fish.
A little thick.
Yeah, you can see they're Lake Michigan fish with a nice big white belly. A lot of the resident fish will get the yellow bellies. So,
oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good perch.
Ooh, a double.
One little small one, but look at this one. He's been feasting down there. Oh, on me!
That's the one that took your bait last time.
Thief. Told you they were down there. Stealing.
Perch fishing, really you're running by your electronics. In the earlier time of the year around Labor Day, you're looking to go a little bit shallower and stick around the weeds. So you're looking for the 8 to 10 foot range and up into the weeds where you catch your resident fish. The fish we're catching today are big lake fish, so they're moving in out of Lake Michigan and into the deeper basins of Muskegon Lake. So now you're looking for the deeper water, those larger basins out here that they have. So go deep this time of year when it gets cold.
It was kind of interesting to see that the smaller half minnow seemed to be outfishing the full-size minnow today. Just a subtle difference, but it did matter.
The thought here is just to see if it's going to be more of a timid bite. If they're not as aggressive, throw a little smaller presentation at them. And so far for me, the majority have come off the half minnow.
Now you kind of grew up in this area, right?
I did. Born and raised in North Muskegon area, Reese Buffer School District. And
okay.
This is my old stomping grounds for sure. Snug Harbor, just outside Snug Harbor in Muskegon Lake.
Nice.
Yep. This is today, coming back today to fish this is brings back a lot of good memories.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Very special lake.
Anytime you get to go back to the lake or stretch of woods that you grew up spending time in, well, it is pretty special. And today, even though the fishing wasn't red hot, well, it was still a great day on the water.
Nothing to get excited about. Ooh, maybe on the fence. Yeah. Let him go, let him grow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good one.
Not bad.
Big enough for a boat ride? I think so, dude. It'll hold salt.
2 weeks ago, in 2.5 hours, you could keep a good 2-man limit. 100 fish, 120 fish being selective. So
wow.
Yeah, today is slow comparatively, but still fun. Good day to be out on the water.
Is it typically good like this right before ice then, or?
Yeah, so years like this, where we don't have ice this late into December, the fishing's fantastic. As you can see, there's a lot of boats out here today. Everybody's enjoying it. So, yeah, this time of year, if the ice holds off, the fishing out here is fantastic.
And it probably is, it's pretty good through the ice too, isn't it, right here in this bay?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So we fished from about mid-morning to mid-afternoon, and although we didn't have a limit of fish, we did have about 40 nice keepers to take back and clean. Perch fillets are hard to beat, as is spending a day on the water. So whether the water near you is still open, or you can punch some holes in it, grab a buddy or a kid, and make sure you get out and enjoy some time on the water here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Well, hey everybody, we are here once again at Antlers Fireside Grill, Canadian Lakes, middle part of the state. We're here with Jim Wood. And Jim, we're into the new year now, and this is some late season duck breast. What are you going to do with it here today?
We're going to make kind of a duck stroganoff, basically.
Okay. How do we get started with this?
Well, so we've got our duck breast here that we've sliced up a little bit. And you want to make sure that you don't have any shot in there, obviously. Okay. Now, Wingham and Woodham Jordan shot these, so it could be loaded with all sorts of shot. Probably lead.
A few tooth marks from his dog.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing a duck breast like this, are you trying to get small little pieces and cook it all the way through right away? Bigger pieces? How do you kind of cut that?
Well, for this particular application, I like to have it just a little thicker, so ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch thick, because we're just going to cook it halfway in the pan, and then we're going to make the sauce and we're going to warm it up. Because it's duck breast, so you really don't want to go over medium rare, medium, unless you're going to braise it for a long time to break it down to where it falls apart.
I think all the duck, just about, that I've had or that I've done, I usually overcook it. You're looking for rare? You're looking for medium rare?
I mean, I eat duck rare. Okay. The rarer, the better. Sliced very thin if you're going to eat it, as like a standalone protein, like with the sauce on top of it or something. Okay. But for something like this, you want decent-sized chunks of it, so it's got some tooth to it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and salt.
And what kind of batter are we using?
This is just regular all-purpose flour.
Okay.
So like I said, we're just gonna cook these partially, give them a little bit of color.
And you're just cooking that in butter?
Just straight butter, yep.
Jim, we got the duck kind of seared off, about halfway done. What are we gonna do with this sauce here?
Now we're just gonna start putting the sauce together. So as every good sauce starts, we add a little bit of onion. All right, once the onions get broke down, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. And then in with our mushrooms. Let those go for a minute. All right, so once you get the mushrooms broke down, we've got a combination of both brandy and sweet vermouth here. And then we're going to add our beef stock.
You have a lot of flaming dishes.
We do. We do. I want to burn what little hair is left. And once you bring that to a boil, then we're going to add a little bit of sour cream here.
Thickens it up?
Yep.
So once you have the sauce all set, how much longer then would you put the meat in for?
Just wait till it starts to get thick. Once you get all that broke down, add a little bit of this Dijon mustard. As you can see, it's already getting thick.
But I mean, once you put the duck back in here, 5 minutes?
No.
Not even?
2 or 3 minutes tops, depending on how thick the duck is, obviously, and how you like it prepared.
Okay, and you're gonna put this over some noodles, and what's the name of this dish?
This is duck stroganoff over egg noodles.
Well, hey everybody, we are here at Antlers Fireside Grill. We just taped a couple recipes that will be on in the next couple of weeks. But we're here today to kind of talk about our second annual wild game dinner. We did this last year. We're going to be doing it this year, next month, February the 6th, here at Canadian Lakes. It is a ton of fun. Jim, what are we going to be cooking next month?
So we're going to do a rabbit dish. We're going to do a venison dish. We're going to do a pheasant dish that we've actually featured on the show.
Okay.
And we're going to do a crawfish dish, actually, that should be kind of a stunner. So.
Nice. Well, it was a ton of fun last year. Again, it's our second annual wild game dinner right here at Antlers Fireside Grill. If you want some more information, you can go to the Michigan Out of Doors Facebook page or the Antlers Facebook page. Have all the information there, and hopefully we'll see you right back here next month.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stick around over the next few weeks. We've got a lot of exciting stories already planned headed your way. We'll take you out on a couple of our late season deer hunts that happened. We'll also head out onto the ice for our first couple of ice fishing stories for the year. And we'll take you out on a squirrel hunt with dogs. You won't want to miss it. If you want to see where we're at and where we're headed next, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a great way to kind of keep tabs on what we're up to as we travel around the state of Michigan. You can always check us out on our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. We have full episodes of the show there. And if you're on social media, we're on pretty much all of those platforms, and you can kind of see what we're up to on a day-to-day basis as we try to travel this great state and bring you as many new episodes of Michigan Out of Doors as we can. Make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks. Lots of good stuff coming, and if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or greenstonefcs.com. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. With its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses, Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. By Showspan, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 10th through the 13th at Novi's Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, trips, boats, and seminars from top pros. The Ultimate Fishing Show, Novi, January 10th through the 13th.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden